A local organization vows to stand by some people left devastated by a fire. More on the Urban League's dedication to those victims. Plus, another apartment fire overnight in Phoenix City causes a lot of damage and leaves nearly half a dozen people without a home.
And temperatures are cold across the Chattahoochee Valley. What will we wake up to for your Monday morning? The forecast ahead.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Rosalind Giles. We begin tonight with an outpouring of support for some Columbus folks burned out of their homes just before Christmas. The Urban League of Greater Columbus is making sure they are not left alone. News Leader 9's Arisha Jones has the story.
Several organizations and agencies, including the Urban League of Greater Columbus, is helping families through their temporary housing plan to something more permanent
to prevent homelessness in our city.
Because of donations from a recent concert that raised more than $3,000 for the victims, the cost of staying in the hotel 3 more nights is covered. The goal is to have everyone affected by the December 22nd fire relocated as quickly as possible.
Some of the families have already filled out applications for rental property and a new place to live so that they can relocate into a place that they can call their own home. Some have already looked at properties.
The fire destroyed a total of 24 apartments on Martin Luther King Boulevard. 39 people were displaced by the fire, and 19 of them are still staying at a local hotel.
We want to present them with options and with fair, decent, and affordable housing and payments within their range.
And other financial assistance may be available for security deposits and other needs. All this is to help victims restore their lives back to normal. In Columbus, Arisha Jones for WTVM News Leader 9.
Absolutely amazing. The cause of the fire is still unknown. All monies donated will continue to help with temporary housing for the people.
Hey, sister, what you gonna do? Go down by the river, gonna play with you. Coming on right, no scream around here, no lip.
Well, some more support for the fire victims tonight coming from Kingdom Faith Outreach Ministries on Midtown Drive. The church held a musical production of The Color Purple. It was $10 to attend, and all proceeds went to the people who lost everything in that fire on Martin Luther King Boulevard. People at the church say they just wanted to help.
Of course, our heart went out to them, and we wanted to know what could we do to help them. And so it was without question. I talked to the cast of The Color Purple. We've done it many times before, but it's special this time because we're doing it with the proceeds going to benefit those who have lost everything.
The fire victims were also served dinner at the church tonight after the production. Now to another fire. This one happened overnight in Phoenix City. 5 families were displaced when flames ripped through their apartments. This is cell phone video sent to us by a viewer. Phoenix City fire officials say one building was destroyed at the Post Ridge apartment complex on 16th Avenue shortly after 3 this morning. The people living there lost everything, but no one was hurt. And of course, that's good news. One of the tenants who sent in the video to us says she was returning home from work when she saw the flames.
It's until you've seen a fire like that in person, you can't imagine the panic you feel when you see that.
The American Red Cross has stepped in to help, providing hotels, food, and clothing. No word on what caused that fire. Well, it is back to work for many after the holiday break in the morning, but brace yourselves for a cold commute. Right, Elizabeth?
You're exactly right, Roz. It's going to be a cold one tomorrow morning. Temperatures starting off in the 30s, mid-30s for us here across the Chattahoochee Valley. But going into Tuesday and Wednesday, things are just going to get even more cold. We're going to see freezing temperatures, even some folks in the 20s for Tuesday morning, which Tuesday is when the kids go back to school for Muskogee County. And it's going to be a cold morning there at the bus stop. So that's the big story over the next couple of days. Not rain, good news. It's just the cold weather. Temperatures currently in the mid-40s across the area, 45 in Columbus as well as Montgomery. A little cooler there in Atlanta, coming in at 41 degrees. We had a few clouds around this evening, but the clouds are making their way to the east. So we're going to see clearing skies throughout the night, helping things get rather sunny for your Monday morning. So cold, but lots of sunshine to get us into work. No rain is expected for your Monday, but we do have a rain chance back into the forecast for this coming work week. We'll talk about that and the cold temperatures coming up a little bit later in the show. Roz?
All right, thank you very much, Elizabeth. A fallen hero remembered today in Georgia. Funeral services for Special Agent Staff Sergeant Chester McBride were held yesterday in Statesboro. McBride was killed last month outside Bagram Air Force Base when his unit was attacked by a suicide bomber. McBride's job on the base was to keep other soldiers safe. One of his childhood teachers remembers him fondly.
He became my protector, my hero, and this much I knew. He laid down his life so you and I could live free. He gave up his comforts for you and for me.
In the funeral service, McBride was awarded posthumously 1 Bronze Star, a Purple Heart, and 2 Air Force honorary medals. McBride had been said to begin work with the FBI, completing what family and friends believe was one of his last tours in Afghanistan. Tomorrow, the Alabama State Superintendent of Education will visit East Alabama. Tommy Bice will address faculty and staff at Russell County High School. Local Superintendent Brenda Coley and her team will outline their plan to prepare students for college and their careers. The session gets underway at 8 Monday morning in the school's auditorium. Back now to Columbus, where traffic on Victory Drive is being rerouted starting today. Officials at Columbus Waterworks say both the east and westbound lanes will be closed this evening until further notice. A huge sinkhole in the 2600 block of Victory Drive near the National Guard Armory prompted the change. Now they say a 24-inch sanitary sewer pipe collapsed there. The westbound traffic will be detoured to I-185 north, and the eastbound traffic will go north on Veterans Parkway. You can find all detour routes on our website, WTVM.com. That's under the local tab. And when we return, newly surfaced terrorism recruiting video featuring Donald Trump. Will it impact the campaign trail a month before the Iowa caucuses?
And temperatures are sitting right at average today, and even cooler temperatures are expected this coming week. We'll talk about all of that coming up after the break.
Coverage you can count on. This is WTVM News Leader 9.
A group of armed militiamen protesting the prosecution of 2 ranchers have occupied an Oregon wildlife refuge and have vowed to stay indefinitely. Jeremy Roth reports.
A group of armed protesters have taken over a building in a federal wildlife refuge in Oregon.
We have no intention on using force or being aggressive or going on the offense. But just as all people have the right to defend themselves, that's exactly what that means.
Ammon Bundy here.
A spokesman for the group, Ammon Bundy, who is the son of Nevada rancher Cleveland Bundy, well known for his own anti-government action, told CNN they are protesting the government's control over the land.
It is the people's facility, owned by the people, and it has been provided for us to be able to come together and unite in making a hard stand against this overreach, this taking of the people's land and resources.
The standoff reportedly started after protesters and militia members converged on the small town of Burns, Oregon Saturday to show support for Dwight and Stephen Hammond, father and son ranchers jailed on an arson conviction back in 2001. Prosecutors said the Hammonds set a fire that burned nearly 130 acres to cover up poaching. The father served 3 months, the son 1 year. But a judge ruled their terms were too short under federal law and ordered them back to prison.
I'm going to jail for 5 years for 127. Seems like a bit of an overkill.
The Hammonds are scheduled to begin their 5-year prison sentence Monday. I'm Jeremy Roth reporting.
As the Mississippi River continues to rise, people in the river city of Vicksburg are taking action ahead of the flooding. The superintendent of the Vicksburg Bridge Commission says he's preparing for the Mississippi River to overflow by getting preventative and precautionary measures in place.
It's not just homes that are affected, it's businesses and government entities in this case. We are expecting it to get within a foot of the ceiling, if not over the ceiling, in our break room. And so we don't want to ruin those fixtures by leaving them in there.
Right now, water levels are just over 42 feet. And Elizabeth joining us now to check out our weather here, and things have calmed down quite a bit, but people are still dealing with some problems.
Definitely. My hometown in the Mid-South, Memphis, it's going to get a lot worse there before it gets better, and it's just going to continue to trickle down throughout the Mississippi's a long river, so it's a lot of area for that to cover.
And Vicksburg, not too far from my hometown, just about 2 hours drive.
Yeah, some problems out there, but we have finally set in a drier weather pattern here over the weekend, and will continue for the next couple of days. Just a really nice, quiet weather pattern. Although things are rather cold outside, we have this high pressure to our east that's building in. It's really going to keep things dry, sunny, but breezy. So making those freezing temperatures that we're going to experience over the next couple of mornings feel even colder. We're expecting low 30s, upper 20s, but things will feel closer to the mid 20s for some. And then by the end of the week, rain will begin to return to the forecast. We have the chance of rain go out Thursday night into Friday morning as of right now. Best time to see the rain, and then again on Sunday. So a few days of rain in the forecast, but we're going to enjoy the sunshine while we have it for the first half. Currently, we are in the 40s across the area, 42 in Auburn as well as Tuskegee, 45 in the Fountain City, coming in at 41 degrees in Fort Benning. But as we put these future temperatures out here, I wanted to show you what it's going to be like tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. We're all going to be in the mid 30s, but again, feeling a little colder than that thanks to the breezy conditions, making those feel-like temperatures, what the air actually feels like on your skin, even colder. This is Tuesday morning. A lot of 20s on the board for some. Again, making things even colder, feeling like the mid 20s by the time you head to the bus stop or into work. So you'll definitely want to get the heavy winter equipment out, the big jackets, the scarves, the hats, because it's going to be very chilly thanks to this ridge of high pressure I was talking about building in from the west, and it's really just going to clear the clouds out and keep things rather quiet. Lots of sunshine. We can see that here on Futurecast as expected over the next couple of days. This is in motion, but it doesn't really look like it. 5 o'clock, I paused that. Tomorrow, looking great. Quiet weather, a little breezy, a little cold. By Tuesday, similar thing. Still showing nothing but clear skies for your Tuesday, so enjoy the forecast because, again, that rain will start to come in as we head towards Thursday night and Friday morning. Right now, nothing severe is expected, just some showers. Your overnight lows in the 30s, a few clouds around. Those will clear out, though. Nothing but sunshine for your Monday. We'll see the upper 40s and low 50s, 51 in Columbus, as well as LaGrange, 52 there in Americus, 55 in Eufaula. Average high temperature for this time of year actually around 57 degrees, so we're going to be below that for Monday and Tuesday. Tuesday right now is going to be the coldest day in our forecast. Beyond Tuesday, things will start to slowly warm up back into the upper 50s for Thursday, expecting 60s for highs as we head towards the weekend. There's the rain chance I was talking about late Thursday into Friday, drier Saturday, and that second round of rain comes in on Sunday into next week. So you see, we do have some rain in the forecast, but again, we're not focusing on that. We're going to enjoy the sunshine while we have it.
And with the cold weather, you mentioned those scarves, they can really come in handy.
They can, and when you cover up the top of your ears, I've heard that that's when you're the warmest. So
yes,
put on that hat.
Because those ears need to stay warm. All right, thank
Exactly.
you, Elizabeth. Well, candidates for president are entering the final stretch to the Iowa caucuses, now less than a month away. And today, new finger pointing. A terrorism recruiting video has surfaced featuring Donald Trump. How will it impact the campaign trail? ABC's Mary Bruce is in Washington with more.
In New Hampshire today, Hillary Clinton standing up to a heckler.
You are very rude, and I'm not going to ever call on you.
As she comes under attack by Donald Trump.
Hillary Clinton created ISIS with Obama.
The billionaire turned Republican frontrunner spent his weekend firing shots at Clinton at a rally in Mississippi, on Twitter and on TV.
I have more respect for women, by far, than Hillary Clinton has.
But Trump also facing questions about this video by the terror group Al-Shabaab, the Al-Qaeda affiliate using a clip of Trump in one of its recruitment messages.
Donald J. Trump is calling for a total and complete shutdown of Muslims entering the United States.
On CBS News' Face the Nation, Trump made clear he's not changing his message about Muslims in America.
Does it concern you at all that you're being used in essentially a recruitment video?
I mean, what am I going to do? I have to say what I have to say.
He is becoming ISIS's best recruiter.
During the last Democratic debate, Clinton said Trump's language is aiding terror groups like ISIS, but provided no evidence.
Hillary Clinton has to be tempted to say "told you so" when this video emerges, but she has to be careful because she did overstate the facts on the debate stage a few weeks ago.
Clinton's Democratic rival, Senator Bernie Sanders, did not address the video, but he did say Trump needs to be called out.
Trump really is over the edge. Time after time, this guy just comes up with things off the top of his head that are lies, and somebody has got to say that he is a pathological liar.
New fire in the fight for the White House. Mary Bruce, ABC News, Washington.
Well, this week marks the first time former President Bill Clinton will begin campaigning for his wife. He hits the trail in New Hampshire tomorrow. Coming up, it was a stunning upset on the course today. We'll show you how Auburn took down a top 10 team in basketball. Plus, Dale McGee is on his way to Georgia. We'll take a look at the big hire by the Bulldogs next.
From WTVM Sports Leader 9, Paul Stockman.
Well, earlier in the week, former Georgia Southern coach Dell McGee had reportedly accepted an offer to join Willie Fritz at Tulane, but now he's heading to Athens. Dell McGee is joining Kirby Smart's staff in Georgia, where he will coach the running backs. The former Carver coach and Auburn alum was the coach of the nation's top rushing attack at Georgia Southern this season. The Eagles led the nation in rushing touchdowns and rushing yards per game. He stepped in as the interim head coach for GSU in the GoDaddy Bowl against Bowling Green and led them to a 58-27 victory. The team also announced former Miami offensive coordinator James Coley will join the team as wide receivers coach, and Marshall Malchow will lead the recruiting department. Well, Kirby Smart is with Alabama now, at least for the rest of their bowl season. Alabama got to enjoy their bowl victory for about 2 days. It's back to work as they go for a 16th national championship. The Tide held their first practice tonight. It was the first time they had seen the field since defeating Michigan State in the Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic to secure the school's 4th national championship appearance in the last 7 seasons. This marks the first of 6 practices prior to the College Football Playoff National Championship against Clemson. Kickoff of that game set for 8:30 p.m. Eastern, 7:30 Central on January 11th. Let's go to the pro ranks now. Falcons taking on the New Orleans Saints in the Georgia Dome, trying to finish with a winning record are Atlanta, but in the second quarter they were down 7-3 until Matt Ryan connecting with Tony Moeaki, and he takes it down the sidelines and bulldozes a defender on the way to the end zone. Touchdown Atlanta. Falcons with a 10-7 lead. Later in the second, after a Saints touchdown, Falcons were down 4, but threatening in the red zone, Matt Ryan hits Devontae Freeman for the 4-yard score. Falcons with a 17-14 lead at half. Pick it up late in the fourth, game tied at 17. Ryan looks for Freeman, but the pass is picked off by Jamarcus Sanford with great field position for the Saints. That's the 16th pick thrown by Ryan this season, and he is not happy. And that would set up a game-winning field goal opportunity in the final seconds. Kai Forbath nails the 30-yarder. Saints beat the Falcons 20-17. Atlanta finishes the season with an 8-8 record. Let's go to the NBA now. The Atlanta Hawks on the road against the New York Knicks up in Madison Square Garden. The first quarter, Jose Calderon for the Knicks, dishing it to Robin Lopez, who passes to the cutting Kristaps Porzingis, the rookie, there for the layup. Knicks with a 7-point lead early. Next possession for New York, Aaron Aflalo taking the screen from Lopez and pulls up for the mid-range jumper. 11-2, Knicks in the lead. The Hawks would start to settle in from there. Paul Millsap gets the ball on the low block with a turnaround, step back, and drills the baseline jumper, but the Knicks were just too good today. They go on to beat the Hawks 111-97. Let's check out some women's hoops now in the college ranks. Auburn facing number 7 Kentucky at home. Now, Kentucky was cruising early on. Taylor Murray getting the jumper to fall. Wildcats up by 15, but Auburn would claw their way back in the second half and tie up the game. Katie Firking with the shot here gets it to fall and gives Auburn the 2-point lead. And then later, Tracy Tanner driving to the hoop, gets the 2 and the foul. Auburn pulling off the upset over 7th-ranked Kentucky, 66-61 the final. Big win for the Tigers today. Some hockey action earlier this afternoon as well. Columbus Cottonmouths facing the Macon Mayhem in South Georgia. And things would get a little chippy in that first period. Al Graves and Travis Howe duking it out. Hard to tell who won, but I tell you what, I wouldn't pick a fight with Graves. He's pretty scrappy. Both guys would go to the box for a 5-minute major penalty for fighting. Later in the first period, the Snakes with an opportunity. Cody Freeman getting the puck in front of the net, and he would score the goal past Garrett Bartis, giving the Cottonmouths a 1-0 lead. On the other end, Shannon Zabados, the goaltender, was lights out the first 2 periods. Gets a big diving stop to cover up the puck there. Then on another try from Macon, she snags it with the glove save, but unfortunately the Snakes would give up a goal in the third and then another one in OT. Mayhem go on to win 2-1. And that's your look at sports, guys.
All right, so the Cottonmouths doing pretty good.
Yeah, 4-2 since all the hoopla that happened a couple weeks ago with the Peoria Rivermen. So looking pretty good. Jerome Bouchard expected to return to the team on Friday. So look good to see Coach Boom Boom right back in the mix.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, take a look at this. A daring man has created national buzz after saving a deer from freezing waters. He was driving home when he saw the deer in distress in an icy river. That's when he jumped into action. He says when he decided to record himself rescuing the deer, he had no idea that the video would go viral. Now the deer has a second chance at life. Love that story.
Yeah, great story there. Well, our temperatures are near freezing for the next couple of days, next couple of mornings. Tomorrow, mid-30s. Tuesday morning will be the very cold morning with the temperatures in the 20s, but making things, with the breezy conditions, it's going to make things feel even colder. So definitely bundle up the kids Tuesday and Wednesday morning, but enjoy the sunshine. Not too bad, no rain. So that is the good news, but we will get that rain chance back in Thursday night and Friday morning. But Roz, those are some cool temperatures. We were only in the 20s once in Columbus in December and once in November. So this is kind of the first stretch of some really cold weather here for us.
So get ready for it. It's going to hit us like a ton of bricks in the morning, I feel like.
Where was this 2 weeks ago for Christmas, man? I mean, I was wearing shorts and sweating Christmas Day. Now I'm freezing every time I leave the place.
I always like to say the weather doesn't know the calendar. They need a calendar.
They do.
Good advice. All right. Thank you there, Elizabeth. Well, that's the latest for Newsletter 9. Join us tomorrow morning for Newsletter 9 this morning. And for constant updates, go to our website, WTVM.com. Good night, everyone.